Hello everyone. Today we revise Unit 2, Grade 5 Science Learner book, The Life Cycle of Flowering Plants. In this unit we have different lesson. Lesson number 1, why plants have flower. What's the reason why plants have flower? Many plants have flowers. There are many different kinds of flower. You can see here different flowers. No matter what the size, what the color, what kind of smell, scent, all flower do the same job. All flower do the same job. Some flower are big, some flowers are small, colorful, colorless, have scent, without scent, and color, different controls. So different sizes, different shapes, different smells, but all do the same job. So what is their job? When a plant produces flowers, the flowers usually last only a few days. It's finished, or you can say it's changed. It's lost only within a few days. Then they wither and fall off the plant. However, part of the flower stays behind on the plant. The part of the flower stays behind on the plant. This part becomes the fruit. So you can say the flower change into fruit. The flower change into fruit. So the job of the flower when a flower change into fruit. So the seed from inside the fruit, the seeds from inside the fruit. Now this is the life cycle of plant again start. Now we get the seed from inside the fruit. The seed grow into new plant. The seeds grow into new plant. The new plants grow and produce flowers to form new fruits and seed. So this is the life cycle starting from seed change into new plant, from plant we get there are new flowers, from flower reproduce, or flower plants you form new fruits, and then fruits we get the seed again. So the flowers help the plant to reproduce or to form new plants. Flower help the plant to reproduce new plant. Fill in the blanks. Dash germinate and grow into new dash. So these are the fill in the blanks. We can say a life cycle about it. It's written all the information given here. So let's do it. Dash germinate, obviously seed germinate. Germination process happened on seed. Seed germinate and grow into new plants. Grow into new plant. The plants form flowers that become fruit. The fruits contain seed, and you can see here again it's coming again from here. Seeds germinate and grow into new plant. The plants form flowers which become fruit, which change into fruits. The fruits contain seeds. Okay, life cycle you can say, or life process again and again, changing changing into seeds. We can get from fruit seeds germinate, grow into new plant. From plants it's contain flower, it's coming flower change into fruits, and from fruits we get the seeds. So again and again, the process of reproduction again and again. Question number 2, why don't we usually find flowers and fruit on a peach tree, on a peach tree at the same time? Why don't we usually find flowers and fruit on a peach tree at the same time? Actually, I told you here, flower change into fruit. Flower finished, then it's coming fruit. So it is not possible both thing at the same time, flowers and fruit. We don't usually find flowers and fruit on a peach tree at the Same time. Why? Because the peach tree fruit or peach fruit form from the peach flower. Peach fruits coming from the peach flower. So rarely you might see a peach flower that is very late in flowering, and this may consider with early fruit development. So in simple word, the peach fruits forms from the peach flowers. So that's why you cannot see both things, flowers and fruit at the same time. Very important thing, the summary of this lesson 2.1: most plants have flowers, obviously, but not all, but not at all. Not all the not all the plants they have flowers. Some flowers and some plants don't have flowers. Most plants have flowers, obviously, but not all, not at all. Flowers can be big or small, colorful or non-colored or colorless, scented with smell or unscented without smell. Flowers forms fruit. Flowers change into fruits. Flower help plant to reproduce. Lesson 2.2: how seeds are spread. How seeds are dispersed. In other words, a fruit has two jobs. First of all, protect seed inside. Protect seed inside because the seeds are inside the fruit. And the second thing, to help spread the seed. To help spread the seed. So fruit also help to spread out the seed. Have you ever found seed stuck in your socks? Obviously, when you're walking in the park without shoes or you're playing in the park, in the ground, you can find in the grassy place, you can find different kind of seed stuck in here or in your socks. So we call this seed dispersal with the help of animal, with the help of human, with the help of bird, with the help of water. So a lot of method to disperse or seed spread out. So why seeds must be spread? What's the reason why it's need to spread out or disperse? Seedling actually need room to grow. They also need light and water. Seedling cannot grow to be healthy plant if they all have to share water and light in the small area. Obviously, all the seed near the parent plant, they cannot grow well. They cannot share because the parent plant cannot share, not like us sharing the thing with our children. Obviously not. The parent plant are not share. Parent plants are not share any nutrient water with the small plant. So obviously they throw their seeds away from themselves. So they also need light and water. Seedling cannot grow to be healthy plants if they all have to share water and light in a small area. So plants disperse their seed in different way. That's why the parent plant, spread out or disperse their seed away from parent plant or away from themselves. Because at the same place, the seed cannot germinate well. If there is a big tree, a small plant, so they cannot catch the light, okay, because of shade. And also at the same place, the big plant absorb more water, but the small plant cannot absorb enough water. So like this, a small plant cannot grow very well if all the plants at the same place. If the parent plant and their seeds at the same place, they cannot grow well. So that's why the parent plant spread out, or you can say disperse their seed away from themselves. You can see different way how to disperse by by water, by human sticking with the human body, and by air. So some seeds are dispersed by animal, some seeds are dispersed by animal. Yeah, obviously with the help of animal, with the attached with their fur, with their skins, animal can spread seed. Bird, monkeys, and even elephant eat colorful, juicy fruits. The seeds pass through the animal body, and actually the seed it has hard surface. So it cannot adjust or digest in our stomach, even in a bird or in an animal stomach. So this they come out from their dropping, from animal dropping. So the seed pass through the animal's body and are dispersed in the animals dropping, in the animals dropping. Seed cannot digest in their stomach, so they come out in their dropping. So this may be far away. Their dropping, animals dropping, may be far away from where the animal ate the fruit. So birds spread the seed of berries and other fruit in their dropping. Yeah, obviously, it is the bird, and they are eating different small berries. It's colorful, but the seed of berry, it's hard. The surface, it's hard. So what happened? And they're dropping. It's come out from their body, from the bird's body. Like this, ant carries seeds underground. Ant carries seeds underground. If the seeds stay there after some time, if it fulfills the condition, there are three conditions to start the germination process, seed germination process, the growth of seed, water, air, and warm place. If the seed gets these three conditions, the germination process, it started. So ant carries seed underground. So anywhere seed found these three conditions, it start germination process. Number three, seeds can be carried a long way from the parent plant before they fall off or the animal scratches them off. This is the body of animal. You can see it's attached with the animal body. So some seed have spins and hooks like this one. These stick onto the fur of animals or the clothes of people. Mice, ants, and squirrels carry seeds away from their parent plants and bury them to eat later. Yeah, obviously, like ant, they take the seeds from one place to another place and bury them at different places, so they eat later. So what happened in this in this time period? If a seed get these three conditions, fulfill these three conditions, it start germination process. If the animal does not eat the seed, if the animal doesn't eat the seed will germinate in the soil. Question answer. Question number one. Which seeds would grow better? Those in a tomato left on the plant or those in a tomato eaten by a bird? Say why? Obviously, the seed eaten by a bird. The seed eaten by a bird. Or you can say those, a tomato eaten by a bird. This option is correct. The second one, those seeds eaten by a bird. The bird would spread its dropping away from the parent's plant. The bird would spread its dropping away from the parent's plant. These seedlings would not be overcrowded like the seedling that germinate right next to the parent's plant. Obviously, if the seeds are away from parent's plant, they are not overcrowded. Away from parent's plant, they can easily germinate. If it's tomato left on the plant or it's near to the parent plant, fallen down near to the parent's plant, so it's overcrowded. So seed cannot germinate well near to the parent's plant. Question number two. Do you think peach seeds can be dispersed by animal? Say why or why not? Obviously, yes. Peach tree can be dispersed by animals. Animals do not eat peach seed. Animals do not eat peach seeds, which are big and hard. And okay, peach seeds are big and hard. But if they eat the peach, they might leave the seeds on the ground some distance away from the parent's plant. Obviously, hard surface. Seed of the peach fruit, it's hard surface. So an animal cannot eat the peach seed. It's also bigger. Make a drawing. No need. Question number three. A Okay, what you have learned in this lesson, this is a summary. A fruit protect a fruit protects the seed inside it and also helps to spread the seeds. A food, it has two jobs. A fruit, it has two jobs: protect the seeds inside and also spread the seed. Seed must be dispersed. Obviously, without dispersion, seed cannot germinate well. So seed must be dispersed so they have enough space, enough water and light to grow into new plants. Seed can be dispersed in different ways. Yes, by air, with the help of air, with the help of water, with the help of animals. Animals disperse seeds in their droppings by carrying seeds on their furs and by burying them. Lesson 2.3: Other ways seeds are spread. Other ways seeds are spread or dispersed. Can seed be dispersed by wind? Obviously, by wind, by air, by water, by animal, by human. Seed can be dispersed. You can see here different seed: dandelion seed, the fruit of a coriander, poppy fruit, and maple tree, the seeds of maple tree. Okay, this all dispersed by, or you can say with the help of wind, with the help of air. The shape of the seed, it is like you can say like this, so it can easily move away from their parent plant. Like dandelion have parachute or hairs to help them float in the air. Other seed have thin papery wings to help them blow away easily. Like this, the fruit of chandelier plants dry out and break off, and with the help of wind, blow them along, or you can say blow away from parent plant. Like this puppy fruit, there are small holes inside. When the wind blows, the seeds are shaken out and blown away because lightweight and very small. So with the help of air, easily and also dry. With the help of air, easily blown away from their parent plant. Like this maple tree seeds, it's you can see the shape. It's like the wing of like a bird wing. Yeah. So with the help of air, it can move away from parent plant. Can seed be dispersed by water? Obviously, seed can be dispersed by water, like coconut. A few seeds are dispersed by water, not all. These seeds must float. Obviously, if they sink inside the water, finish. So these seeds must float on the water. They have a spongy covering that help them to float. Like the coconut is dispersed by water, and also the mangrove. Some seed explode. Yeah, seed can be dispersed by explosion method. Some fruit disperse their seed by themselves. No need any other agent. So some fruits disperse their seed by themselves. Like this one, bean pod. Bean pod dry out and explode in hot weather when the seeds are ripe. So this is explosion by explosion method. So they explode and shoot out their seed. Actually, what happened when it's dry out, there is inside gas. So then it's like a little blast, or you can say explode, okay, and open it and shoot out their seed. Question answers after this. Question number one: How does a spongy seed coat? How does a spongy seed coat help a water lily to disperse its seed? Obviously by water. So the spongy seed coat has air spaces. The spongy seed, it has air spaces that trap the air and help the seed to float. Obviously by water. So spongy seed, what happened? It has air spaces that trap the air, and with the help of air, the seed are floating on the water and moving away from their parent plant. Why are bean pod usually picked before the weather get hot and dry? Obviously, if we don't pick by explosion method all the beans, shoot out, or you can say disperse. So if the weather is hot and dry, the pods dry out and will explode, scattering. So scattering the beans, so we cannot pick them to eat if it's dry. So before it's dry out, the farmer cut the beans. How do how do thinks the bush willow's seeds is dispersed? Yes, give a reason for your answer. It can be dispersed by wind. It has peppery wings. It has wings, peppery wings. So it can be dispersed by air. This one, bush willow's seeds. You can see it has wings. Summary for the lesson 2.3. Seed dispersed by wind are light and dry to help them blow away easily away from parent plant. Seed dispersed Seed dispersed by water float until they are washed up on land. Some seed pods explode to disperse their seed by explosion method. Lesson 2.4. The parts of a flower. The parts of a flower. You can see here a flower and its part starting from here. Petal. This one. These are petals, often brightly colored to attract insect to the flower. Yes, have different colors of petals, different flowers. So why? What's the reason? Why? What's the job for petals? Attracting the insect, attracting the animals, attracting the humans also. Yes, because of petals. We like flowers. Why? Because of petals. It's looking different. It's looking beautiful and bright color. After this, stigma. This is the female part. This is the female part. This is all female part. Stigma. The female part of the flower that receives pollen at pollination. That receives pollen and at pollination. So this is the female part. This all from here to here. The upper part, this portion is called stigma. Okay, after this, ovary, the down portion, this part, this is ovary, which containing egg. The female part of the flower that contains the egg. What's are inside this one? This is ovule. It's not written here. Ovule. These small egg, it's named ovules. Okay, and this one, the long one, this name style, like a tube. This name style. I'm repeating the female part, stigma, the upper part, that receives pollen. This one, style, like this tube, and this the down portion. This one, ovary, containing eggs, and inside ovules. Inside ovule. After this, anther, the male part. This is the male part. Anther is a tip, or you can say the top portion. The anther of the stamen. The anther of the stamen. Okay, this part, stamen. This is the male part. Anther and stamen, it's the male part. We also say filament. Actually, the complete name is filament. Filament have further two part, anther and stamen have further two part, anther and filament. Anther, it's a top part, and filament, it's a tube. Okay, so what's their job? Anther containing or making pollen like a powder. What is pollen? Like a powder, which help in you can say in pollination process. The next topic about pollination we will discuss after that. Excuse me. So what is stamen? The male part of the flower which make a powder called pollen in its tip, called an anther. So in the anther, they are making their powder like called pollen, and this is filament. The non portion, its name filament. This complete male part named stamen. So stamen, male part name, and carpal. Carpal is a female part name. The female part of the flower that can contain tiny egg inside the ovary. Its tip is called a stigma. The complete name is carpal. Inside carpal, there are further four parts: ovary, ovule, and stigma and style. Stigma, the upper part; style, the tube; ovary, which contain eggs; and inside the ovary there is ovules. There are ovules. So the complete name for female part, carpal. The complete name for male part, stamen. After this, these are sepals. What are the sepals? Little green leaves that protect the flower bird. Little green leaves that protect the flower bird. Question answer. Name the parts of the flower that make pollen. Make pollen. Anther. Anthers make pollen for the flower. Protect the flower bird. Sepals. These two leaves protect the flower bird. Attract insect and bird. Sorry, number C. Contain eggs, ovary, and attracting insects and bird. This is petals. Petals or petals, you can say. So they are attracting the insect and bird. Which part of the flower do you think makes scent? Obviously, petals or petal, they are making smell, scent. So attract the insect and bird. Flower petal are different colors. Plan an investigation to find out which color is most common. This is according to your area. If you're living in Saudi Arabia, so there are different colors. Saudi Arabia have a city type. We are in Taif, so we are in Taif. In Taif, it is a city of flowers. You can say the other name of Taif, the city of flowers. So there are a lot of flowers. You can see mostly I saw the red color, red and white color. So according to your places, where are you living? So you have different colors of flower, but mostly the red rose, we can say. So it's the you need to make an investigation. You need to find different flowers. So you can after this you can say how many flowers or how many color you can find it. So the most number of color which you choose, you write the answer. Which color is most common? What's the what's the summary for this lesson? What you have learned in this lesson? Flower have four main parts. Number one, petals, green sepals or sepals. Green sepals protect the flower bird. Protect the flower bird. After this, petals or petals, colored petals, attract bird and insects. After this, the male part, stamen. And further we have stamen. We have further subpart. This is the male part. Number one, anther, and number two, filament. Okay, anther and filament. Anther making pollen, make powder, pollen, anther. The tip of the stamen, or you can say the tip of the filament. This is the male part, stamen. The female part, carpel. The female part, carpel, containing egg. There are further four parts. Number one, stigma, style. Number three, ovary and ovules. Ovary containing eggs and ovule, the inside the ovary, the egg, small eggs. Style, the tube, and stigma, the upper part of the carpel. Lesson 2.5, pollination. We are talking about the powder which which made by anther. So what is pollination? Have you noticed bees, butterflies, and other insects on flower? You can see it. If you can see the close look, you can see the powder. These are pollen attached with their legs, with their body, okay, even with their mouth. So these are the pollen. So they are moved pollen from the stamen, from the male part to the stigma, to the female part of the flower. This process is called pollination. This process is called pollination. In pollination, the pollen moves the stamen to the stigma of the same kind of flower, of the same kind of flower. So the bee is pollinating a flower. Yes, it's sitting here, then moving other part, then moving other flowers, or like this. They are moving the pollen from one flower to another flower. There are two main ways that pollen is carried from the stamen to the stigma by insect. Number one, by insect, and also by wind with the help of wind. If a little air blow, so with the help of wind, the pollen also move away from the flower, from moving from here to another part. So first of all, pollination by insect with the help of insect. Flower pollinated by insects usually have brightly colored. So obviously the petals, they have a brightly colored petals, the flower. So the insect are attracted by these flowers. So scented petals, some flower also make nectar. Also, now what is a nectar? A liquid, a sweet juice. So some flowers also make nectar. So insect visit the flowers to feed on the nectar. They get covered in pollen and carry the pollen to the stigma, the female part of the same flower or another flower. It's not, you can say exactly they are sitting on the same kind of flower. Maybe the insect they are sitting another flower. So in like by this method, yes, they are moving. You can say pollen from one flower to another flower, from male part to another flower, from male part to female part. Maybe this is the same kind of flower or another flower. Second, pollination by wind with the help of wind. Flowers pollinated by wind are not brightly colored. So that's the reason the insect, the bird are not coming and sitting on it. So and do not have petals. You can see here, don't have petals. So that's why the insect, the bird don't like or don't want to come on it. Or also don't no have any kind of smell, no scent. Wind pollinated flower make lots of pollen. So that's why they are making lots of pollen. Because with the help of wind, they are move away from the plant, from the plant flower. So pollen blow in the air from the stamen, from the male part, to the stigmas of the other flower. So like this, they are moving with the help of wind. The wind blow the pollen from this grass flower to other flowers. Why must flower be pollinated? What's the reason? Plants produce by making seed. Plant produce by making seed. Obviously, the pollen and eggs join to make seeds in a process called fertilization. Fertilization. So how the seed germinate or it's come out? Sorry, it's we can say grow. The pollen and egg join together. The pollen and eggs join together. Pollen from the male part and eggs from the female part. They are join together to make seeds. This process is called fertilization. So pollination bring pollen from the male stamen, male part, to the female carpel, female part. This allows the egg to be fertilized and seeds to make or to form. Fertilization happens in the flower's ovary. The flower's ovary. Where is the ovary? This part, okay? The flower's ovary in the female part. So pollination happens, fertilization happen in the flower's ovary. Fertilization only happens if the pollen and after the egg is fertilized, the petal and the stamen of flower die. After the eggs fertilize, the petals and stamen of the flower die, finish. The ovary grow and becomes the fruit. So this is the further. So we are watching the fruits on the flower on the plant, flower change into fruits. Inside, what happened? The fertilization in which the male part and the petal die, and the ovary grow and become fruits. So seeds are inside the fruit. So from there again the process start. We get the seed and uh, put on the soil, and the seed germination process start. New plant come, and new plant flowers come, and then flowers change into fruits, and like this we get the seed again from the fruit. So let's start question answer. Question number one. Why do why do flowers pollinated by insects have brightly colored, scented petal and nectar? Why do flowers pollinated by insects have brightly colored? So to attract the insects. These all things for attraction of insects. To attract the insect come and sit on it. Why do flowers pollinated by wind have little color, no petal or scent? Obviously, so insect not coming, so they don't they they need to attract insect. Why do flower pollinated by wind have little color? Have little color, no petal or scent. So that's why they need to attract insect. That's the reason. Why do flowers pollinated by wind produce lots of dry pollen? Obviously, they need lots of pollen because the wind blow it in all direction, not at one direction, because the wind is blowing at different direction. So not all the pollen it's reached to other plant. So which one you can say the wind blow it in all directions and not only onto other flowers, not only onto other flower. So that's why that kind of flower they have lots of dry pollen. How does pollination help the plant reproduce? Pollination bring the male pollen to the female part, or to the female part, carpal, or you can say stigma, so that fertilization can take place to make seeds to form seed. So that's why this process happened. Explain how pollination is different to fertilization. How pollination is different from fertilization. Pollination is when pollen is carried from the stamen to the stigma of the flower of the same type. Of the should be the same type of flower. Fertilization. Fertilization is what? Fertilization is when the pollen and egg cell join together. So this is the process. Fertilization when pollen and egg join together. Both cells are joined together in the ovary. In the ovary of the flower must be the same type. The flower must be of the same type if fertilization is to occur. What's the summary? What you have learned in this lesson? Very interesting topic. Pollination bring pollen from the stamen, from the male part to the stigma, to the female part of the flower of the same kind. Flower pollinated by insect have brightly colored, have smell, scented petals or petals and nectar juice. Flower pollinated by wind. By insect, they have brightly colored petals, and by wind have little color, no petals, no petals or scent, no smell, and lot of pollen, lots of dry pollen. Fertilization happens when the pollen and egg join inside the ovary, and the fertilized egg become seeds, and the ovary becomes the fruit. Okay, boys, done until here. Take care. Goodbye.